Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I wanted to start the video with a big zoom on the face of Leonardo Bonucci, yesterday standing in front of the supporters after the loss in Champions League, after the performance versus Benfica, losing 2-1 versus the Portuguese team. Can we call it really a game or a performance? Probably not. We have to describe it as the big collapse. One of the most big collapse or rock bottom moments of recent Juventus history. Yes, we can speak about a crisis, a really disaster moment. But when I see and when I watch the face of Bonucci, when I see the tears in his eyes, it's worrying me. The word that he was using in post-game of Juve Benfica, sono preoccupato, I am worried. Bonucci is worried, I am worried. And why are we worried? Because we have no answers. We don't know how to solve it. Yesterday, Bonucci said, it's not only physical, it's not only mental, it is everything. Everything, but also everybody. Everybody is guilty. And when you have more than one problem, it is hard to find one solution. You need a lot, but you have to act fast if you want to fix it. How? We will discuss about that in that video. He said also, we deserve the whistles and the boos of the supporters. And we see that image of all the players going in front of the Curva Sud yesterday, where usually Juventus is used to receive the applauses after a victory. Yesterday only whistles. Whistles and also insults that Bonucci said we deserve them. Yesterday, I started the live saying, I am sorry. I am sorry because I consider myself a supporter of Juventus, like all of you, but one that is putting my face on it. Since 2 years, more than 2 years, nearly 3 years that I'm speaking day in, day out about Juventus, telling you to believe until the end, every time, trying to be positive and explain things. But yesterday I was really sorry of the non-performance of Juventus, because this is not what supporters deserved. I really want to clarify one thing before we go into the video with all the Italian and international papers. I am sorry for the performance. I am sorry for the moment that we are living. I'm sorry to see Juventini sad, but I will never be sorry to be a proud Juve supporter. Proud Juve supporter that will always support the beloved Juventus, like I did when we had that logo long time ago. I continue to do when we had that logo. I continue to do when we have at the moment this logo, before we change logo, because we will happen to change again logo in the future. I will always stand next to my beloved Juventus, and I'm never sorry to say I am a proud Juventino. Of course, and obviously we will also talk about Massimiliano Allegri after the game of yesterday. Tuttosport is opening their page with Juve Allegri, ora basta. Juventus Allegri, now it's over. Now stop. We will go inside Tuttosport to understand what they mean with Juve stop. With Allegri, we will understand it a bit more in detail. But first of all, if you want to read every single article about what has been written about Massimiliano Allegri, you know that OneFootball is the best app to keep you up to date about everything is happening around our beloved Juventus that is suffering on the moment. iOS and Android is totally for free. You open the app, you choose your favorite team, and you can go towards all the different articles that you can find in OneFootball. They are speaking about, should Max Allegri resign as a Juventus coach, as a Juventus manager. They are speaking about Arthur, attenzione, we'll speak about that at the end of the video. We must find, and I must find the solutions, the word of Massimiliano Allegri, and so on and so on. A lot of articles in OneFootball. You can have it, download it, with a link into the description. What was Tuttosport saying? Juve basta. La pazienza ha un limite. Juventus stop. Patience has a limit. This is actually the thought of the supporters, but probably also from the management, from the players, from the coach, from everyone. The patience has a limit. We can't continue to assist about what we saw yesterday versus Salernitana, versus Fiorentina, versus Sampdoria. The patience has a limit. La rimonta del Benfica dopo l'illusione di Milik, because again, we believe that it was possible after the goal of Arkadiusz Milik. No, not more than 20 minutes this time. Yesterday, the question arrived to Massimiliano Allegri. Are you feeling that your job is at risk? He said, at the moment, I don't feel that my job is at risk. There is a lot of things that we have to do. There is a lot of things that we have to work on. We have to remain silent. Words in post-game press conference for Massimiliano Allegri. Attenzione, because it has been reported by Guardalà and always and all everywhere on the social media that there is high tension at the moment in Juventus with Allegri and the management. Is that correct or not? We have to read the entire article, because otherwise it's just some clickbait titles and we have to pay attention to that. So Guardalà was writing an article explaining that at the moment there is not a risk of Allegri being sacked by Juventus. That's really important to understand and to read all the article. Of course, none of the people are happy what is happening, but before stating he will be sacked in the afternoon or the morning or even yesterday night, we have to understand what is happening in the Juve world. But Nicolo Schira is reporting it's not because Allegri is not feeling under discussion at the moment. It's not because it will probably not even happen tomorrow or today that he feels 100% secure, because Nedved, Arriva Bene, a lot of people in the management are absolutely not happy about the game of yesterday. And I will tell, it's totally correct of not being happy with what happened yesterday. We can't accept again and more games like what happened yesterday. There are also other pages that are speaking about already new solutions after Allegri. They are going, like Sport Media said, attenzione, because there is the hashtag Allegri out, something that is existing already since more than 1 year, but they are saying there is the hashtag Allegri out, and they are saying there is a new name, De Zerbi. Guys, I went to read the article as I always do. They are not saying that De Zerbi is close to Juve, that he will be the next manager of Juve. They are just saying in a list of long names, Tuchel, Zidane, De Zerbi and so on, that De Zerbi is also in that list, and maybe if Allegri will be sacked, he can be one of the possible ones. Then I remember, if I go back in the past of the Super League, the day after the Super League announcements, how hard the position was of De Zerbi against that Super League, saying it was a joke, he would dismiss, he didn't even want to play football anymore, coaching his team at that time, saying I don't want to play against Milan because Milan is one of the teams of Super League. I don't believe that De Zerbi will put a foot in Juventus at the moment. Then everything can happen and we will see. But at the moment, I don't see it. Yesterday, what happened? Well, if we are opening the ratings of Tuttosport and Gazzetta dello Sport, we see that a Vlahovic received a 4. We see a McKennie that received a 5. Allegri that received a 5 in Tuttosport. In Gazzetta dello Sport, they are even more harsh and probably even more correct. I agree with the ratings of Gazzetta dello Sport with a 4 on Vlahovic, a 4 on Allegri. Weston McKennie with a 4 as well. I believe that yesterday a 4 is probably even too much for certain players. Not only them, 5 for Miretti, 5 for Kostic, 5.5 for Bremer, 5 for Quadrado. A lot of scores like that. And when we are looking at all these kind of scores and these ratings, then we understand that it was not only the individualities, not only, but all the team. Flop Juve. Ultima è fischiata. Flop Juve. We are now the last in that Champions League group. We are 4th, 3rd, 4th. Anyway, 0 points like Maccabi Haifa. And we were whistled. Again, totally deserved the whistle that we received yesterday. We continue with Gazzetta dello Sport. We're saying Juve at 0. Juve at 0. Because this is the truth. With the face of Massimiliano Allegri that was not finding the solution. He said it yesterday. We deserve to lose. Even if we drew, it was a really horrible performances. The game was over after we conceded that 2-1. I want to add the game was over after the 20th minute when we were still leading 1-0. What makes me angry is not even the reaction of Joao Mario. It's everything what happened. Everything what happened, or maybe I have to say everything what didn't happen on the field makes me angry more than the reaction of Joao Mario, ex-Inter fan that was provoking the supporters. We have to take it. But what makes me probably even more angry is Corriere dello Sport, that is opening his paper with Juve fuori gioco, using the wordplay Juve out of play, which is totally correct, but also using the wordplay saying Juve offside. Why are they saying that? Because they are linking it at the valid goal that was cancelled versus Salernitana, linking it at a few days from what happened, the scandal that happened in Italy. for me it's disgusting, because they are showing that it's quite low. They are acting really low and they are happy. They are dancing on a Juve that is at the moment, unfortunately, on the ground. We have to take these kind of pages. We have to put them in the locker rooms. We have to understand that this is not acceptable. A Joao Mario should not be able to do like this to the supporters. Corriere dello Sport should be ashamed and not be able to put these kind of titles after what happened in Italy. We have to be stronger. We have to fight on it. But we have to focus immediately on Monza. Why? Because they presented their ex-Juve player as the coach now, Palladino, with Galliani that said Palladino Monza. It will be like the Sacchi Milan. Sacchi that opened the beautiful glory era at Milan back then in the 80s. Palladino is saying that he's inspiring himself to Gasperini, and he's asking to the supporters of Monza for a sold out. A sold out that we saw immediately because Monza communicated that everything was sold out for Sunday for the game versus Juve. Of course, they will have the public and the supporters to support and to believe in that miracle. Monza with 0 or 1 point, I believe, at the moment in the ranking after match day 6. They want to go for it. They want to believe. They don't want to give up. Will our supporters travel to Monza, and will they continue to support the team? I'm asking myself. One that will be there is Rabiot. Probably not Locatelli, even if we're not even sure about Rabiot. One that can come back, unfortunately, is Arthur, because there is a clause that Liverpool, if they are not satisfied with the player, they can break the loan in January and giving back to Juve. That would be a disaster on top of what we have now. Guys, that's what it for the video. A longer video where I try to explain a bit the feelings that are absolutely not great. I started the video with saying I was sorry, I was worried, but I'm absolutely not sorry to support Juve. And today, in moment of difficulty, I will support Juve even more. Which doesn't mean that we will have to blind ourselves and not saying the truth. We have some problems. Let's try to find solution all together, and I'm really repeating all together, to fix the situation we are in. Grazie, forza, Juve.